Hello and welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher for all your digital resources. Check out travelingtechteacher.com. Remember, guys, school is almost back. I know we got about another 30 days. School's almost back. So be ready for that. Traveling Tech Teacher can help you. Also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com. A 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying, so let them help you. And they're also here to remind you to please check out their YouTube channel at Nonfiction Filmmakers. Sorry about that, guys. Please be sure to check out their channel, Nonfiction Filmmaker. So you're so perfect. That's the show today, guys. You're so perfect. We are going to talk about that today. That's what we're going to talk about. So, have you ever had this happen? So, I'm going to change the names, okay, of this story to protect the stupid. That's what I'm going to do, guys. Now, have you ever had this happen? You make a pizza, you bring out the pizza to someone, and you guys start eating it, and the person grabs the pizza, burns their hand, okay? Now, I'm changing the story, remember that. You got to think that maybe it's something different. Burns their hand. Okay, well, we put a bandage on them, take care of them. Okay, great. They burn their hand, no problem. Next day, we decide, let's have another pizza. I come out, bring the pizza out. Person grabs it with their right hand this time. Grabs the pizza, burns their hand. Oh, hey, you should be more careful. I think you should know that. I brought the pizza out. You know it's hot. Stop burning your hand. Okay. Yeah, we'll wrap it up. No problem, guys. Guy's gonna be better. No problem. Next day, guess what we decide to do? Have another pizza. I bring the pizza out. Guy decides, well, I got both my hands burnt. Let me grab it with my foot. Burns his foot. Then I turn around and say, hey, dude, it's been 3 times that you burn your hand. Don't you know yet that this is hot? Stop touching it. Oh, Richard, you're so perfect. You do everything so perfect. Let me tell you what this is, guys. This is a gaslighting scheme done by stupid people. Sorry, stupid people. And it's a way to deflect. I'm not an expert, okay? So consult a psychologist before doing anything of the things I tell you or anything else. But what else can it be? It's not me being perfect. I'm not perfect. I burned my hands on pizza before, or I've done whatever it is that you've done wrong. I made those mistakes. So I'm telling you, sometimes I've been told this so much, and it's okay. You're so perfect. I just turn to people and say, well, you can be perfect too if you just pay attention and be honest with yourself. So if you make a mistake, whatever it may be. It could be the most silliest thing as burning your hand on a pan when you know a pizza just came out of the oven. It could be as simple as that. You made a mistake. Own up to it. Okay, I made this mistake. Think to yourself, how can I fix this problem? How can I fix this so this doesn't occur again? Well, wait for the pizza to get cold. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, well, Richard, sometimes it's not all about hot pizza. Yeah, you're right. So put in any analogy you want. But I want to know, please, write in the comments below whether you're watching this live or recorded. Have this ever happened to you? You tell somebody, be careful for that. They burn themselves. They do it again, maybe it's not the next day, I was kind of exaggerating my story, but they do it again and you say, hey, you already made that mistake already. Don't make that mistake again. Oh, you're so perfect. Has that ever happened to you? I want to know. And to me, it's a way of not being honest with yourself. You know, I've never said that to anybody. Oh, you're so perfect. But if I did, I would imagine that it's because one, I'm embarrassed that I did such a stupid thing, right? So I have to. I'm so embarrassed, and I feel so embarrassed that I have to. I don't know what the technical term for it is, but I have to um, kind of deal with that embarrassment in a negative way rather than a positive way. Positive way would be, instead of telling the person you're so perfect, saying to the person, how do I not make this mistake again? Because I made it 3 times. I got my hands bandaged up. I got my foot bandaged up now. Tomorrow, when we have pizza, I don't want to burn my other foot. How do I fix it? That's the positive way to do it, and that's the right way to do it. Rather than, oh, you're so perfect. You never burned your hand before on pizza. Yes, I have burned my hand on pizza, but I have not done it 3 days in a row, or I have not done it 3 times because I say to myself, I gotta be honest. I love the pizza, but I gotta wait for it to get cold. In this case, um, or the better analogy is some people we all know them, guy or girl. We know some people that people always use them either for money or for something. They always get used by people, and they're upset when they realize that the person's using them. And it's like, hey, Sophie, thank you for joining the show. So the I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Um, so hello everyone joining the show. So they're embarrassed that this is happening to them. So they go and they react by saying to you, "Oh, you're so perfect. You're perfect all the time." And the way that they should be dealing with it is by turning around and saying to a person, "Okay, I've hurt myself 3 times on this situation. How can I uh, resolve this so it doesn't happen again?" That's the best thing to do. And a good example, as I was gonna say, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, but I'm back on. Um, so we all have a friend, guy or girl. Okay, let's not say that only girls fall for this or only guys fall for this. Guy and girls, they fall for this. They get used. They get used a lot, you know, and so at the end they're mad that the person used them. They turn around and they say to the person, how can I not get used this way? And then you're talking to them and they say, well, when you meet a guy or a girl, don't give them things right away. That's one way. If you don't want to ever be used by people, you're the type of person that's always being used by money. I mean, there's a lot of guys and girls out there that only start relationships and they got multiple relationships with multiple people, and they're just taking money off them. Some of them, are bold and like, you're gonna buy me things. Some of them pretend like, oh, I'm really down on my luck. Can you help me? Type of situation. KG, thank you for joining the show. So the best thing to do, not to be in that position, is to ask someone questions who's telling you, rather than saying, oh, you're so perfect. Find out, what are you doing? What is it that you're doing? I get this a lot from people who want to lose weight too. And I'm going to put this out there right now. I am not saying that if you're heavy set, that's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's ugly. It's beautiful. It's all that. If you want to be, big and beautiful, that's awesome. You go and do it. But there are people that are heavy set and don't want that. They don't want to look that way. So those people, I talk to them. Well, you got to do this. You got to whatever it is that I tell them, because they're looking at me. Oh, you lost a lot of weight. How can I do that? And the minute you start telling them, well, I do this and I do that, then they don't want to do it, and that's fine. Again, that's fine. Okay, no problem. Uh, you're beautiful. Continue to look as beautiful as you are, and you know. And then they start with the "you're perfect." I mean, you're so perfect thing. Don't say this to people, guys. All right. Don't say this. Be So if you make a mistake or whatever it is that makes you want to say to someone, "Oh, you're so perfect," you know, um, think about what you're saying. Think about why you're projecting that kind of attitude towards the person. You know, you're the type of person that needs to burn their hands and feet 3 times on a on a on a pizza. If you're that type of person, if that's you, fine. Own up to it. You need to make a mistake 3 times. I mean, I think it's ridiculous. Why do that? You know, especially if it's something dangerous like uh, driving. You know, you know, if it's something dangerous like driving, if you're a person that needs to get into 3 accidents, you know, a year, one of those can kill you. So, but if you want to be that way, be that way. Just don't tell someone else who hasn't had no accidents or who has probably had 1 accident in their entire life or 1 accident a year. Don't tell them you're perfect. Because remember, when you say you're so perfect, and everyone that hears that, if you hear this from now on, I want you to tell the person, 1, thank you for noticing. 2, I'm perfect because when I make a mistake, I correct it. And that's what I say to people. I'm perfect. Thank you for noticing. And I'm perfect. Or you think I'm perfect. Actually, I say, you think I'm perfect because when I make a mistake, I make it once and you never see it again. Period. Like just the other day, I'll be totally honest. Uh, it was very foolish of me, but I was getting ready to go in the pool with my family. And my wife yelled to me and said, "Hey, can you get me my goggles? The water, you know, water goggles." Hello there, Bunny 17. I hope I pronounced that right. She asked for the goggles, and silly me, I threw the goggles to her, and they fell on the floor and they cracked. See, that's a mistake. See, and somebody that was hanging with me even said, "Well, I guess you're not so perfect anymore." See, the problem is that I never said I was perfect. 2, I'm never going to make that mistake again. So that does make me perfect. Because we all make mistakes. We're all allowed to make mistakes. And we're allowed to make them 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. I say no. Learn from your mistake the first time and then move on. That's the way I look at it. And never make that mistake again. Because there's so many mistakes we can make, guys. We don't want to keep repeating the same ones. But if you are someone that keeps repeating the same ones, it's okay. Doesn't mean you're dumb. Doesn't mean anything bad. But just don't go around telling people that they're so perfect as a way to deflect for the embarrassment that you're feeling. You know, now when that person told me that, "Oh, I guess you're not perfect anymore," I could have easily said, "Oh, you're so perfect." But no, I know I made that mistake once. I'm never going to make it again. And, you know, it's not an excuse, but if you're wondering, I thought it was made of like a plastic and not glass. Otherwise, I would have never threw it. But I made a mistake. Never make that mistake again. Never throw goggles. Period. Especially around the pool. That was the other stupid thing I did. We have a rule: glass is not allowed around the pool. I really didn't think of that as glass, but I learned now. See, so you know, it's never going to be a. We have more pairs of goggles. You're never going to see me throw another pair, and I'm very careful now around the pool with the glass, with the goggles, because I know it's rubber, and that's how you handle it. You don't say to someone, "You're so perfect," even if they say to you, "Well, I guess you're not perfect anymore." You don't say, "Oh, you're so perfect." You just, what went wrong? See, I didn't care about what that person said. I cared about only myself. And that's what we should do all the time, whether we're being bullied or whatever we're being. Someone says something stupid to us, you ignore that. Especially if you made a mistake like I made. You say, what went wrong? You thought something was one thing when it wasn't, so it broke. So let's not throw anything around the pool. That's one rule I'm making for myself. Don't throw anything around the pool. And be careful with everything and don't assume something is not glass when it truly is. And that's the best thing we can do. And that's it. We don't worry about the people saying we're so perfect. But people are always telling me, how do I handle this? How do I handle that? How you handle this is you tell them, thank you for noticing. And I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, so I'm going to start again. Thank you for noticing. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. It may seem that way because I make a mistake once and never make it again. And it's just people reflecting. That's the main thing you gotta understand. If people feel embarrassed, it's because, hey SK, thank you for joining the show. If people feel embarrassed when they're in certain situations, they'll act differently. They might bully someone. They might make jokes. I had a friend that used to put down, when he felt uncomfortable, he would put down people all the time. And that's how he dealt with it, instead of just trying to deal with it in a positive way. So SK just joined us. Thank you, SK, for joining us. I pretty much went through my whole spiel. So I'm going to go through my spiel one more time for you, SK, and for those of you that are joining in now. And I want you to reply back to me if this has ever happened to you. So this has happened to me several times in my life. Somebody makes a mistake, right? And I'll say, like the analogy that I used was, I'm sitting down with my friend having pizza, right? He grabs the pizza. I grab the pizza out of the oven. He knows it came out of the oven. Put it on the table, and he goes and he grabs the metal and burns his hand. Now he does that 3 times, okay? And then on the 3rd time, when I say, dude, yesterday you did this, today you did, the other day you did this, today you did this, stop doing that. Their reply back was, oh, you're so perfect. Has this ever happened to you? Where you're like, dude, you stop making a mistake. For me, it happens a lot with like friends that their girlfriends are using them, or are cheating on them. And again, this is not about bashing girls, guys. So I have female friends as well that the guys are using them, and we're talking to them. I'm talking to them and like, he's using you. You need to drop him. And I get that reaction too. Oh, you're so perfect because you were never cheated on. Yeah, I was cheated on, but you didn't see me hang out with that girl any longer. Broke it off with them. I didn't go back to them to continue to get used. So I like to know, has this ever happened to you? And I see that you have to go. So if you could reply in the comment section. So if you got to go, that's okay. No problem. But I love it if you would reply in the comment section when this live feed goes into the recorded version of it. Let's see. He says some people use their girlfriends for sex. Right. So if you use if you have a friend whose boyfriend's using her for sex, You talk to her about it and try to help her. Does she deflect with the words, "You're so perfect"? You know, it. Like I said early in the show, it's a cheap deflection. It is a cheap deflection, guys. And I'm gonna say it again for SK because he didn't hear it, for all the others that had just joined in. It's a deflection, and the reason why they do it is because they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed, and rather than say, "How can I go through life not being used anymore?" Or in the analogy that I used, "How can I go through life and not burn my hands anymore on the pizza when we have pizza night? How do I fix that? What can I do?" Um, they just answer back with, "You're so perfect. You're so perfect." And SK and the others didn't hear this, but what I say is thank you for noticing. And I'm not perfect. It just seems that I'm perfect because I don't make the same mistake twice. You know, it's a deflection, guys. And the next, I never get deep in with the person, I have to admit. But I think from now on, I'm honestly going to start answering with, "You realize you're deflecting." I'm a smart aleck type of guy. I'll admit it. When you dealing with someone that would say such a stupid thing like this, I'm a smart aleck guy. I go straight away. I'm from New York. I go straight away for the sarcasm and the ridiculousness of what the person's doing. But I think I'm gonna start um, really breaking it down and really. I'm not a doctor or a psychologist, but I'm gonna really start breaking it down because my psychologist friends say they're deflecting. They tell me, so that's how I got this education. I'm gonna start educating them and say, "Oh, you're deflecting. You realize that." Rather than saying finding out how you can fix your problem, you want to act like I'm acting like I'm a perfect person. No, I never said I never make mistakes like this. Because that would be an effed up thing to say to a friend. He burns his hand, and you say, "Oh, I never make a mistake like this." That's who cares if you never made a mistake like this? My hand's burning. I would be pissed. So I don't know. Some people use relationships for money. That's funny that you say that because I said that earlier on the show. Yes, some people use people for money. And when you try and talk with them, is what I use. When you try to talk to them and say, "Hey, you're being used by relationships," maybe you might say, because I had a conversation with a few friends like this, and it's like you're being used. Every relationship you're in, it turns out to be used, right? We agree on that. They'll say, "Yes, I agree." Okay, the best thing you should do is when you're in a relationship, don't start to buy things for people. Because I've talked to people and like, "Why did you use this person?" And it was like, I didn't start the relationship using the person. They just kept buying me things and buying me things and buying me things. And then when I wanted to end the relationship, I realized that if I end it, I'm gonna lose stuff. So I didn't want to end it. So let this be, you know, advice for all of you out there. I know I got some young people on here. Maybe you're too young to date, but when you start to date, don't buy things for people. Don't, and watch out for people who you start dating and right away, "Oh, I can't pay my rent." Oh, sucks to be you. I'm sorry, but you can't start to support some guy, no matter, or girl, no matter how great they are in the sack or otherwise, just great people. You can't start putting yourself in a hole because they can't make their money. Cheyenne Young, thank you for joining the show. Smash that heart. Show us some love, whether you're watching this live or recorded. Pico says, I sent the live to Tully and Pico. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. SK said, I sent the live to Tully and Pico. Thank you, SK. I appreciate that. So, Shelly Young, how are you doing today? But I think it's important when you're in relationships not to be used. Thank you for smashing that heart, Miss Young. Um, and that's the one way you can do it. Don't start giving gifts to a person you started dating. If you're a female, sometimes females, uh, sometimes females are used for sex, like SK said in the beginning of the show. They're used for sex. So if you date a guy and he wants to jump in the sack right away, no. And if you lose him, trust me, he was worth losing. Okay? He was worth losing. And you lost my train of thought for a minute. SK says the Yankees got beat 14-0. Jesus, 14-0. What is that, a football game? Oh my God. Yankees got to get it together. And let's see, Miss Young says, not too bad. How's your UXX? How's my day? My day's going great. So anything you want to talk about, Miss Young, we don't have to just talk about the topic that I'm bringing up. But it's basically, have you ever tried to help a friend with something, with a problem they have, and rather than tell you, thank you for your help, I don't need it, or thank you for your help, tell me more, they say, oh, you're so perfect, as if you trying to act perfect. And like I said, it's my psychologist friend said that that's deflecting. That's what they're doing. They're embarrassed that, just to use the kind of examples that we used on the show, maybe a girl started dating a guy. He said, I can't pay my rent. She paid his rent, she paid his rent, she paid his rent. And then she found him with another girl. And it's like, oh, he used me to pay his rent, and they feel so embarrassed. So rather than say, how can I not make this happen again? They'll say to the person, oh, you're so perfect. And then they might even bring up something, like, let's just say I had a girlfriend. And I had a girlfriend one time who was trying to get me to pay for her car payment. I told the story on the show once before, so if you want to hear the whole thing, check out our IGTV channel and you'll find it in there. So I'm not going to really get involved into it. Basically, we just started dating one week, and she told me, she gave me a sob story about she couldn't pay her car payment, and the car was better than mine. Okay, it was a fully loaded Camaro a 2000 Camaro. At that time, I was driving a 2000 Mitsubishi Mirage stick shift, because stick shift cars are cheaper. Stick shift, and no power doors. It had AC on it, and that was it. That's the only, because I was living in Las Vegas. There's no way I could have lived without AC, so I made sure that it had AC, and that was it. But all the bells and whistles, power doors, nope. I had to crank that baby down. You know what I'm saying? Use that arm straight. Believe me, I had some guns by the end of that thing. But and I told her, I'm sorry, I'm making my own car payment. I can't pay your car. And then shortly later, surprise, surprise, we broke up. Oh well, she wasn't worth having. That's the way I look at it, and that's the way you all gotta look at it. Doesn't matter if we've been together for years. It doesn't matter if me and her have been together for years. Doesn't matter if we're about to get married. Let me tell you, does not matter if we're fiance, we're about to get married, and I feel like she's using me. Right away, I felt like she was using me. You break up the relationship. I had a friend who's a guy and a girl at different times. Their spouses cheated with them on their wedding day. Okay, on their wedding day, they caught them cheating, and they broke the wedding up, and they invited the person invited everyone over to come to the what is it? Oh, I forgot. After the wedding, the big party after the wedding. Sorry, guys, I'm drawing a blank. Hey, Martin, thank you for joining the show. Smash that heart. Show us some love, whether you're watching this live or recorded version. And they partied, because it's a celebration, right? You found out that a guy you or a girl you were about to spend the rest of your life with is a cheater. That's something to celebrate, and they celebrated, and and they broke it up. Most people would have said, "No, I'm going to continue to marry this person. We got everybody here. My mother's here. My aunt came from out of town, right? We got to have the wedding." No, no, don't put yourself in that situation. That's the way I look at it. So they did the right thing. So that's my advice to you guys. And would I do that? I have been in situations where I had a relationship with a 7 year relationship. I mean, with a girl, and she cheated on me, and it was over. It was right there and then. She said she begged me not to break it up, and she said it wouldn't happen again. And I was like, nope, we're done. Don't give people a second chance to steal from you. Don't give people a second chance to hurt you. Don't do that. Miss Young says, I hate bullies. I can't stand them. I agree with you 100%. Are you dealing with a bully at this moment? Do you want to talk about it? Are you dealing with any kind of bully right now, Miss Young? Did you want to talk about it? How old are you? Let's get that. Remember, guys, please consult your parents, a professional, before doing any of the things I tell you on this show. This is just for entertainment. But are you dealing with a bully right now? So like I said, the great answer for when someone tells you you're so perfect is that you are deflecting. You realize that you're deflecting because you're embarrassed by the fact that you made this mistake. Let's see. I had them all my life. Okay. Had them all my life. Female. So you had female. Are you saying you had female bullies? Is that what you're saying? SK says canvas? Canvas. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means, SK. But how did you learn to deal with your bully? I'm curious. Because you don't have him anymore, right? I can't stand them. You said, I had them all my life. Okay, you had. So you no longer have bullies. So what you do to deal with them? That's what I'm curious. So while we're waiting for an answer from Miss Young, I'm starting to sound like a broken record, right? About this, you're so perfect kind of thing. But yeah, my thing is now, like I said, let them know they're deflecting and let them know you're there to help. And if they still want to deflect and say you're so perfect, then that's what they do. We can't control what other people do. We gotta understand that we only can control us. They hurt me a lot. Long story. Okay, she says they're a long story. I just reported them. Oh, so it's just happening. Good. So it's happening on YouTube as well. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Where is it happening? Where did you just report them? Okay, let's see. You're not a broken record. Miss Young says, thank you. Sometimes I do repeat things over and over again, guys, because sometimes some people need to hear things more than once before it finally sinks in, She says she doesn't think that. Great, awesome. So you just reported somebody that was bullying you. No, I experienced it on Facebook. Okay, Facebook. It's really sad how Facebook and unfortunately Instagram is not dealing with bullies properly. That's the way I look at it. I've tried so many times to advocate for people who are being bullied on Instagram, and they actually say to me that that's that's not considered bullying. It's a shame. You know, it's really a shame. But like I was saying before, we could only control what we have to what we do. That's all we can control. We can't control someone else. So if someone wants to tell you you're so perfect, the best thing for you is not to feel bad about yourself and say, "Oh my God, I wasn't trying to be perfect." Don't say things like that. You know, you can say, "I'm sorry that you feel that I'm trying to be perfect," but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you, and what you're doing is deflecting. You know. So let's see. Miss Young says, "Lots of hugs to you." Oh, thank you so much. And I experienced bullying in life and at high school. Okay, so you're at least in high school at least. Okay, yeah, it's a tough age, you know. But remember that you are great. Okay, that's the one thing to remember, Miss Young. You are great. Don't worry about these people that can't deal with their own issues, because that's what it is. That choose to deflect through bullying. And SK says he's back. Well, welcome back, SK. Smash that heart one time, whether you're watching this live or recorded for SK, because he's back. Um, yeah, the best thing is not to stay silent. Okay, um, not to stay silent, Miss Young. To don't worry about the things you can't control, like the things that the bully is doing. Continue to tell teachers, continue to tell your parents, continue to tell anyone that will listen. And if you go to your teacher and they don't listen, go to the principal. If you go to the principal and they don't listen, go to the superintendent. If the superintendent doesn't listen, go up to whoever his boss or her boss is. Just keep going up till you find someone that says, "I'm going to listen." And then protect yourself so that you don't, because once you tell a teacher, it's going to get back to the bully. So you got to be ready to defend yourself. So walk in crowds, right? Hang out. If you sit by yourself at lunch, don't sit by yourself at lunch anymore. Okay? I can guarantee you that I can walk into any school in the United States, any school, walk into the cafeteria and I'm going to see a kid eating by himself. Find that kid that's eating by himself and sit down and sit with him and talk with him and become friends with him. Because when kids hang in groups of 3 or more, the bullying most of the time stops. I'm not going to guarantee it's going to stop. So you sit there and now you got 2 friends, right? You find another kid. You look around, you see another kid sitting by himself. Go grab that kid. Tell him, "Hey, you want to sit with me? Let's sit together." Now you have 3 friends. Then you get a 4th one, a 5th one, a 6th one. When you have, friends are usually 4. I think the most friends are 4. You might find 5 friends that get along. Kids of 5, they're not going to get bullied. Especially if you got each other's back. If one kid is getting bullied and the other 4 kids are just sitting there not saying anything, then you guys are going to get bullied. So you got to speak up and say, "Hey, dude, leave us alone. We want to eat," or whatever it is that you're doing. We just came here to learn, not to play around. So go somewhere else, please. And then get a teacher to help you. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to find where the last thing you said. So Young says, with female girls more, it's not easy. It's mentally ruining me. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope it's okay to say, yes, of course. That's how you feel. It's definitely okay to say that. No doubt about it. I graduated well educated. Good for you. So you're done with school. Okay. She says, "I'm glad to meet you." Well, I'm so glad to meet you too, and I hope that you will become a regular part of the show. We do this every day. The times may change, topics change, But even though I want you all to know, even though I might put up a topic, like maybe the other day I talked about baseball with SK. If I'm talking about baseball, you can come in and chime in and say, I have a question about bullying. Can I ask you? And you're more than welcome to do that anytime. You're more than welcome to write in the DMs your questions. If you're embarrassed, DM them to me. But please, if you're not embarrassed to ask questions, always put it in the comments of any of our inspirational posts. And that's another thing, Miss Young. We have inspirational posts every day to help you start your day. So be sure to come to our page, right? Come to our page on Instagram, read the new post of the day, right? And then share it on your Facebook, on your Instagram, or even on Twitter, or whatever, whatever thing you may have. I'll show you real quick. This was today's post, and it says, "Think outside, no box required." So, in other words, go outside, get some fresh air. We've been cooped up, right, for almost 2 years. We can get out now. Let's get outside, wear our mask if there's a lot of people, and get outside and get some exercise. I just worked out for 2 hours. I did water aerobics for about an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and then I did yoga for about an hour. Doing. I stopped and I started again, but I would say it was about an hour altogether. So that's what we have. So let's see what else. SK says, I first started coming on the show in August 2019. Awesome. Almost 2 years. Great. And Miss Young says, it's about time this gets raised. Yeah, we need to raise awareness. I'm sorry. And she goes on to say, oh, thank you. And I get shy to talk about being bullied. And thank you so much for showing me. Yeah. So if you get shy, you don't want to write it in the comments, you could DM us. DM us your question, and we'll do a show about it. It might take a while because we have so many people asking us questions, but eventually we will get and make a show about what you're doing. And if it's ever your birthday and you see us doing a show, please come on and tell us it's your birthday, and I might even sing happy birthday to you. I don't know, maybe. But I always do have shows for our followers when they tell us it's their birthday. I always do it. So, all right, 42 minutes we've been on. And, someone started a Q&A. Wait a minute. That's weird. It says I have a Q&A, but then it says that I don't have a Q&A. Okay, no problem. But if you guys want to start the Q&A, smash that question mark. Okay? Only if you're watching this live. If you're watching this recorded, you're going to have to come on to a live show if you want to smash the question mark and start a Q&A. Miss Young says, I'm the type of girl that does not like talking about bullying problems a lot. But your support and love, is getting me through it. Awesome. That is awesome. And then she goes on to say, "Aww, thank you." You're welcome. I live in Italy, Miss Young, so I'm going to say it in Italian. Prego. So, what? Oh, we do have, I don't know if we have a Q&A. Okay, if someone pressed the Q&A, sorry, it's not working because I got information that someone's doing a Q&A, but when I click on it, it says no question. Oh, okay. Wait, I do. Okay, it just popped up. That's funny. It popped up just as I was doing it. Salma Yusuf, number 8. Thank you for joining the show. And this is a question I get a lot. So I'm going to answer this for you guys. I would say about 4 years ago, it was Christmas time. A friend of mine created this this Instagram channel for me. And then he was running it for a couple of months, and then he handed it over to me. He handed it over to me. It was probably a month before Christmas. I was in Thailand, and I said, well, let me do a little live feed, giving a shout out to everyone that I hope they have a Merry Christmas and that the new year will be good for them. Thank you for smashing that heart. Everyone, please smash that heart. Show us some love. So when I went on the live and I started telling everyone Merry Christmas, blah, 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 all I was getting was questions from kids. I'm being bullied. What can I do? I'm being bullied. What can I do? And I end up staying on for an hour because at that time, Instagram only allowed me to stay for an hour. I don't know if it's changed because I think at that time I only had 2,000 followers. Now I have a little under 5,000 followers. So I don't know if it's because of that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because we have over like 2,000 videos. 200 videos just based on this show. So maybe it's because I have 200 videos. I don't know what it is, but now we can go longer than an hour. But I spent an hour literally back to back answering questions for kids. And that's how I started the show. Good question. Salma, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Salma Yusuf, 08. Thank you for asking that question. Anybody else have a question? So that was over like 5 years ago. And like SK said, he joined the show in 2019 and he comes on every day. Now I don't have a show every day. I try. Most of the time, the reason why I don't have a show is because I can't think of a show idea. So if you can think of an idea, please put it in the comment section in our in our inspirational post. Put it in there. That's where I would like to see it go. Talented Group for Children. Thank you for joining the show. Where are you from, Talented Group? Smash that heart, whether you're watching this live or recorded. So many of you are smashing that heart. Thank you so much. Keep that heart going. I appreciate it. Let's see. Salma, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, says, yes, you agree? Is that what you're saying? Agree? I don't know what you're saying. It's misspelled. So let me know, Salma. But we got a talented group for kids that just joined the show. Thank you so much. Hit that question mark, guys. Let's get another question before I go. I'm about to end the show. But please, let's see if we can get one more question before we go. And if you're watching this in the recorded version, please go right now. If you have a question, put it in the comment section right now. We will see it and then we will answer it on another show. Or if it's such a good question, we might even make a show topic strictly about it. So I try to do the show every day for those of you that are new watching. But most of the time, the reason why I don't do it is because I don't have time to research a topic, right? And then bring it to you guys. But if you guys ask me questions and keep me with topics, I will do a show every day. What time I will do it, I don't know. Right now it's summer, so I can stay up pretty late and do a show like I'm doing so that all the people that live in the East Coast can watch the show. But usually I try to do the show during the day. So if you missed the live, you could always see it in the recorded version, and then you could ask your questions then, and we will answer them. All right, that's I do got another question. Boom. Oh, it says it can't pull it up. I'm sorry, SK. It says it can't pull it up. So let me ask his question. Why were you arguing with that Glenn guy that one time? Okay, so Glenn Norton is, or was at that time, I don't know if he still is, the president for the NALC. NALC is the union that works for postal workers. And he was not doing his job, basically. Now, I know you can say, well, that's just your opinion, but he wasn't doing his job. people were being abused by management, and he was not doing his job. And I was calling him so that he could help me with the situation that I was having, and he just refused to help. Now, I understand there's two sides to the story. That's my side of the story. Now, whether what I'm saying is true or not, okay, here's the thing. If you saw the video, and if you guys don't know what video, any of you don't know what video I'm talking about, DM me and I will send you the link. Otherwise, you can scroll down to our IGTV feed and it's in there. Whether, there's a lot of people that say, I'll be fair in this question. There's a lot of people that say, I was lying. I was lying in the situation. Okay. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if I'm lying. It doesn't matter what I do. He should control himself, right? It's like I told you guys before. You don't worry about what the bully's saying. Don't worry about what the other person's saying. Don't let them change who you are, okay? And that's the kind of feedback I got on this video. Is oh, you're lying. That's not how it went. Blah blah blah. Okay, I'm lying. I'll accept that. I'm not saying that I agree with you. I'm saying that I'll accept that. But he still is a professional. He's the president of the NALC, and he should not be acting like that, whether I'm lying or not. And the way I look at it is, if I'm lying about somebody, they're not going to get like he got on that video. They're not going to be abusive. They're not going to scream. They're not going to curse. If someone turns to me, as a steward for the NLC that I got lots of times people were telling me, you're not doing your job. You're letting these supervisors run all over us. You're not doing your job. I didn't get upset. I never cursed at someone and did the things he did on that video, because I wasn't lying. And it's as simple as that. He was lying, and he knows he was lying, and he got caught in a lie, and that's why he acted that way. Period. And that's it. Very good question, SK. Very good question so far. Please you guys want to keep it going. Let's get one more question. So let me get your comments. SK says, You're not scaring me, Glenn. Yeah, I had to tell him because he got into my face. You can't see that because it's only audio. But the reason why I said that, being that you brought that up, SK, is because he got in my face like this. We're both from New York, SK, right? I get in your face like this. We both know what that means. And I had to let him know, you're not scaring me. I'm not backing off. I'm not going anywhere. I also said, you see how fast I'm moving. I didn't move anywhere. I didn't go anywhere. I stood right there, and he backed up and he went away because he thought that he had a punk that was going to walk away from his bullying, that he can just get in someone's face and that the person was going to cower down, that I was just going to cower down and walk away and say, oh, I'm sorry, Glenn. I didn't mean to second guess you. Bullshit. And sorry for the language. Young says, I love your warmth and love and support, and thank you for being so kind to me and reading out my post. No problem at all. It's very interesting. Yes. Please DM me, Young. I'm going to send you the video that we were talking about. But are you over 18? That's the first thing I'm going to ask. If you're under 18, I don't think I should send you the video, but you're able to find it in our feed. So let me show you that. Let me show that for people that don't understand what I'm saying. This is our feed. This is a feed on. Oops, it's not working. There it is. That's a feed on Instagram, right? So we got different posts. We got different videos. And you just keep scrolling down. It's real far. You got to go really far down. And you're going to see like an earth, I think. Help me out, SK. Am I right? It's an earth. You're going to see, not an earth. I'm sorry, a planet. It's a planet and it's rotating. When you get to that feed, that is the video that we are referring to. And I think, like SK said, I think I'm going to start putting up a lot of my videos that I secretly recorded with the postal service. Um, and it's so funny because I'm going to tell you this. When I did that, a lot of my friends were like, "Oh, you're going to end up dead somewhere. You're going to end up dead somewhere." See, I'm still alive. I'm not going to back down from bullies. That's one thing. I'm not going to back down. I don't care how many of them they are. I'm not backing down. I'm going to see if I can scroll down. So bear with me, guys. I'm so sorry. See if I can scroll down to where I at least see it so that I can show it to you guys. And let's see. We have another question? Yeah, it's an earth spinning joint. Yeah, or something joint. Oh, spinning. You meant to say spinning joint. Okay, let's see. That's weird. It said I had another question. So whoever just asked that question, please post it up again because nothing's showing up. And I think if you do it a few times, eventually it will show up. You sent me it in the DM, so look for it in the DMs. Oh, you're right. Good. Thank you, SK. I appreciate that. Let's see. I sent it to you a while back, right? So we're gonna have to go way, 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 way back here. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me here. I know making the show boring is the worst thing a worst thing that a host can do. But I try to keep it entertaining. Maybe I'll sing a song or something. I don't know. Or maybe I rap. I'm not throwing away my shot. Yo, I'm not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I'm gonna get a college trip to King's College. I probably shouldn't brag, but damn, amazed and astonished. The problem is I got a lot of brains but no polish. I gotta holler to be heard with every word. I drop knowledge. I'm the diamond in the rough. Shiny piece of gold, trying to reach my goal. Tower with peach is unimpeachable. Only 19, but my mind is older. These New York City streets get colder. I shoulder every burden, every disadvantage I've learned to manage. I don't have a gun to brandish. I run these streets. Run out of breath always right there. Run these beats back. The plan is to fan these. The plan is to fan these something in. I'm forgetting it. I gotta keep doing it or keep forgetting it. The plan is to fan these sparks into a flame. But it's getting closer. Let me spell out my name. I am the ALEXANDER. We are meant to be a colony that runs independently. Meanwhile, Britain keeps shitting on us endlessly. Eventually, they tax us relentlessly. And King George turned around and won a spending free. He ain't never gonna set his descendants free, so there will be a revolution in this century. Into me, he says, in parentheses, don't be something into me, he says in parentheses. I'm done from there. I can't remember what's next, guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I used to know the whole thing. I learned it because two of my followers wanted me to actually rap that because I was rapping my something else one time, and they said, "Can you learn that?" And so I did. Did you find it? Is that what you're telling me? Oh no. Oh yeah, you found it. Thanks. I appreciate that. So thank you for smashing that heart for that rap that I did. Let's see. Yeah, so it is what it is, Glenn. I'm not gonna play with you.
I'm not playing with you either.
Okay, good.
And that bullshit about you calling Manny and saying you left all these messages, there was one message from you to get in touch with Paul. Left on Saturday and he had not even been here.
For the whole week?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's on you.
Stop making shit up, man.
You got it, man. I'll stop making shit up.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Good. better.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
You do what you want to do. You're not scaring me, Glenn.
I ain't trying to
You're not
scare
scaring me,
you.
Glenn.
Cut your
You're
fucking
not.
bullshit.
All right, there's a cursing start, so I don't want to get slammed. So if you want to listen to the rest, you're gonna have to go and let me show a picture. I can't show a picture of it because oops, I don't. It's too much cursing. I don't want to. All right, so look, can I pause it? Yes, I could pause it. So that's what the, like I said, it's not an Earth, it's a planet. Looks like the planet's blowing up and about to go like nova or something. So that's it. Thank you for smashing that art. Check it out. Listen to the rest of it. I'm gonna post some more stuff like that because you guys need to know the background. Because I tell you guys that I was bullied for like almost 10 years with the United States Postal Service, and I should start showing some of that proof. Let's see. Let me see if I can answer some of your questions. Let's see. You resent it. Yes. Okay. I saw that you sent something. And that's why I went searching for it. Miss Young does a bunch of hugs and kisses and some X's and O's up in there. Thank you very much for those X's and O's. Right back at you. Let's see. It sounds like there was someone telling you to stop arguing. Yeah. Isn't that the greatness of the... There was a few people there. There was probably 1, 2, 3, 4. It was probably 4, 5, 6. There were probably 6 or 7 people there. One person said, okay, stop. Stop the arguing. And everyone else just was like, oh. And I bet you if you asked them why, they would tell you, oh, he deserved it. And like I said, he said that I lied, okay? I said that I called 3 times. He said that there was only one message left from me. That's it. Well, first of all, if there's one message that doesn't, just because I left one message doesn't mean that I only called once. That's one. But 2, there were more messages than that because I called and left messages. And it still comes down to, right? If I'm lying, I'm going to take that. I'm lying. I'll take that. No problem. It's not an admission of guilt. I'm going to take that. You still don't act the way you're acting. You turn around and you say, this is how I would have handled it. Look, if you call 3 times, I only got one message and I'm sorry. But you're here now, so let's handle your problem. And to me, that's why he started the argument. Because he didn't want to help me. He doesn't want to help anyone unless they're his friends. If you're his friend, then you will get helped. This is my opinion. So he didn't want to help me. So what's the best thing to do rather than sit there and say, hey, I want to help you. How can I help you? Is to start this big BS that he did. And now I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. But now he's mad or and then he's got an excuse not to help me. And that's the sad part, that he thinks that's an excuse. It's like, let's put it this way. Let's say I'm a teacher, right? And I have a student, right, that's being bullied. Okay? The student comes up to me and says, I'm being bullied. You need to get Johnny off my back and get him to stop bullying me. And I say, well, I don't think Johnny's bullying you, right? And then let's just say the kid is so frustrated. You shouldn't do this. I'm not saying this is right, but I'm saying the kid is so frustrated. What does he do? He calls the teacher bitch, let's say. Now the teacher is like, oh, well, I don't want to help him because he called me a bitch. Not the fact that this kid has come several times to you with the same complaint and you've done nothing. And that's what they do. That's what bullies, or this is not a bully, but enablers of bullies do. They don't want to solve the problem, maybe because talking with the bully is so much work. They don't want to talk with the bully, so they rather handle it with you because they think, well, if you took abuse from a bully, chances are you'll take abuse from me. So that's why it's very important that when you have a bully, the first time bully comes up, and just for keeping things simple, bully wants your money. That's why it's important to stand up and say, no, you're not taking my money. And if the bully is 6 feet tall and you're only, 5 feet tall, that's not a good analogy. If the bully is 10 feet tall, that's better. And you're only 5 feet tall, and he's got muscles on top of muscles on top of muscles, and you're just a thin kid like I was when I was young. You still got to do what you can to put it into it. Whether you tell the teachers, or no matter what it is that you do, no matter what it is that you do, you have to put an end to it right there. Now, because if it doesn't get there, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. But to get back to what Glenn did, that's what he did. He tried to make up a problem. You're a liar, Richard. So because you're a liar, I'm not going to help you. That's not an excuse. You called me bitch, Johnny. So because you called me that, I'm not going to help you with your bullying problem. No, it has nothing to do. And call the teacher out on that if a teacher ever tells you that. Heather Dunley, thank you for joining the show. Smash that heart. Okay, show me some love. Show us some love. Whether you're watching this live or recorded, show us some love. Okay, SK has another question. Thank you, SK. Is this the question you put in before that didn't come up? Let's see. Something's wrong with the Q&A, guys. So if you put a Q&A and I didn't answer it, put it up on the comment section like SK did. Why were you arguing with the African lady that one time? Okay. And SK, this video I have not posted on Instagram. So you're going to have to go to our YouTube channel to see this one. So anyone who wants to see this, DM me and I will send you this particular conversation. Okay. So remember when I said there's a supervisor that's harassing me and Glenn was supposed to handle it and he didn't? That's the supervisor that was handling it with me. So one time she got very abusive with me, screaming and yelling with me. And most jobs are this way, I believe. But in the Postal Service, it's because of all the shootings. I don't know if you know, back in the 80s and 90s, there was a lot of shooting going on. There was a lot of shooting going on with the Postal Service, right? People will come, get fired, come back to work and shoot up and do a shooting spree, okay? Sort of like now, unfortunately, there's a lot of school shootings. Back then, anytime you heard about a shooting, it was the Postal Service. And it's because the Postal Service abuses their employees and then fires them for no good reasons. And they exhaust everything, all the legal things, and they still lost because the Postal Service, this is my opinion, is in bed with all the companies that are set to protect you, like the EEOC. I see you guys are asking me a bunch of questions. Let me answer this one first, all right? So she was abusive to me, and she knew that I had her. The thing that she did to me is so wrong that she knew that if I filed a grievance, and a grievance is something you file if you're in a union, if you don't agree with your work conditions, what's going on. So she knew if I filed this, she would have been in serious trouble. Now, the Postal Service probably would have covered it up, but she would have been in serious trouble. So what she was doing with me in that video is I have asked her several times for permission to file a grievance, and she kept pushing it off. Now, the problem is that I have 14 days to file a grievance. And most unions are like this. I haven't seen this change. So no matter what union you're with, if, let's just say, your teacher, your employer, screams at you, let's just say, screams and yells at you on the workroom floor. You want to file a grievance. You have 14 days to do that. After 14 days, you can't, on the 15th day, you can't say, I want to file a grievance that this guy yelled at me. And I know if some of you were probably saying, yell at me, so what? Years and years of being yelled at takes a toll on you. So whether you're an adult or a child, so that is important. So she was keeping me from filing my grievance. So it was getting close to the date that I had to file or I couldn't file anymore. So I said, okay, I'm gonna film this this incident right here, that and stuff like that. And it's really funny because people, now let me talk about that video. The comments that I get on that video is that's not bullying. Yes, she wasn't mean. Yes, she wasn't really yelling. She was very sarcastic, but not yelling. But this is the thing you gotta understand. Sarcasm is not for work. Okay? Someone asks you for something, get it. It's as simple as that. It shouldn't have to be back and forth. It shouldn't have to be, no, you didn't, again, deflecting. No, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. That's why I haven't given you the time, making excuses. No. What, Mr. Santiago, what do you need? This is how the conversation should go. Mr. Santiago, what do you need? I need my union time. And I specifically said, if I don't get my union time, it's going to be past the 14 days. Oh my God, you're right. I've been pulling it off for weeks. I'm sorry. I will give you your union time at this time. Get it in writing, and that's it. That's how that conversation should have went. So that's how you know it's BS. And people have to understand that it doesn't. She was smiling. Yeah, she was smiling on some of the video, but that doesn't mean that what you're doing is not right. Okay, I've seen people create, because you guys may know, I worked in the advertising for a while. I worked in advertising for a while with newspapers and so on and so forth. I've seen people log into people's computers that they were bullying. See, people bully you and then you forget things. So she forgot to lock her computer, this particular girl. And I actually seen somebody go in and delete all her work that she did that day. And it looked like she didn't do any work. The girl was smiling. The girl was laughing. Is that right? Just because the girl was laughing, because she didn't yell at anyone. She didn't scream at anyone. She was nice about it and blah, blah, blah. But the act is just an act. We can't say that's just an act, so it's no problem. No, that's sabotage. And that needs to be controlled. And people, needs to stop. Sorry. And people just don't understand that. So when I get all these, what's the word I'm looking for? When I get all these comments that you call that mean, or what else did I get? She's not being mean. She's not yelling. Whatever. She doesn't have to hit me over the head with her chair for it to be mean. This is a workplace. I say something to you, you say something polite back to me. If you keep me, if I ask for a pen, let's just say, okay, here's a pen, and you're doing this. I'm sorry that, okay, you don't want to call it bullying? That's fine. But this is a workplace. Stop the games and give me the pen. And give me what I need to go finish my job. And so for lack of a better word, yes, that's bullying. When you add the other games she played, and everything else, that is bullying. This one thing, going like this, oh, come on, take the pen. There you go. Just take it. That kind of BS. Okay, yeah, that's not bullying, but it's a workplace. Let's stop playing games. All right, good questions, guys. All you guys are asking good questions. Let's see. What's your name? I'm sorry. Young says, what's your name is Glenn? I'm not sure. Oh, no. My name is Richard, and the show you're watching is Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Okay? I am an advocate for thebullyexposed.com. When you get on here, look it up. Okay? I'm an advocate for thebullyexposed.com. And that's my name. Glenn is the president of the NALC, Glenn Norton. Look him up. He's the president. Do not write to him and say you're mean. Do not write to him and say anything nasty. I'm going to put that out there. Guys, I do not want that. Okay? Putting that out there right now. He was, when I was working for the Postal Service, he still might be, I don't know, the president for the NLC, and he's, in my opinion, probably got to be one of the corrupt persons in the NRC, and believe me, there are a lot of them, but he's up there for sure. And Young says again, what is your name? And again, it's Richard. She throws some more kisses and some more X's and some more hearts. Thank you very much for the love. Appreciate you. Smash that heart right now, whether you're watching this live or recorded. Smash that heart. Okay. So SK, I think, has another awesome question. Was she lying when she said that you agreed to not file a grievance? Oh yeah, of course. I mean, here's the thing, okay, guys. Yes, that's a lie, because would I be a person that says I don't want to file a grievance and then come to her and say I decided to file the grievance? Would I do that? Okay, maybe. And again, I'm gonna take that. That's not an admission of guilt, but okay. I told her I don't want to file a grievance, but I'm in my 14-day window, right? I'm in my 14-day window. So if I turn around and say, you know what, I thought about it, I apologize, but I do want to file that grievance. Her job, again, is not to say, you said you weren't going to file it. You said this, you said that, whatever. That's not her job. Her job is to say, okay, you changed your mind. Here's the permission to file your grievance, or here's the time that you need to file your grievance. So that's how you know. Here's the thing while I'm on this subject. Whenever you're being bullied, really listen to your bully. Really, 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 really listen to your bully. You know why? Because your bully will always make themselves look like a fool. And that's the one thing about bullying, that you got to learn to hear that. To be honest, I'm going to be totally honest. Every time I hear that, even the one that I just played, I get PTSD from it. I do. Because believe me, I was in a bad place for 10 years with the United States Postal Service. And I was with the Postal Service for 12 years, so there was abuse. So you could say a total of 12 years it was abuse. The reason why I say 10 is because those 2 years that I was being abused, I thought it was just that post office. I thought that I can move on, I will pay my dues, move on to another post office, and it'll stop. Because I have worked in restaurants where the chef is extremely abusive. Makes what's his name, Ramsey, makes Chef Ramsey look like a little schoolgirl. Let me tell you, I've seen chefs that are worse than that. And I just say, okay, I'm going to move to a different restaurant or a different part of that hotel or something like that, and the abuse stops. So for 2 years, that was my thought process, that, okay, they're abusive here and they're bad, but I pay my dues, keep my mouth shut, work hard like I always do, become a regular employer, and then I'll be able to pick my own station that I'm going to work at, and I don't have to deal with the bullying. But the bullying was there too. So to answer the question, so when you talk to a bully, look out for those open spots where they leave themselves open. She said, according, I really don't remember. So like I was saying to you, I don't remember if she said this or not, but you obviously listened to it a few times, and you're saying that she said you agreed not to file a grievance. But am I right though? Please, I want to know, write it in the comments or write it in a DM. Am I wrong by saying, if you saying to me, if you don't like the way you're being treated at the postal service, you have a union, and in 14 days you have to file. So someone comes and yells at me, okay? Yells at me, is abusive, screaming at me, threatens me. So okay, that's not allowed. I'm going to file a grievance. I go to file the grievance, right? The supervisor comes to me and says, hey, Rich, do me a favor, man. Don't file this grievance. Don't file it. Please, please, please don't file it. I'm sorry. Maybe they say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I'm sorry. Okay, I won't file it. And then I turn around and maybe I get abused again, or by the same person. Or maybe the person's being nice to me, but I think for a minute, no, I can't let this go. I have to file a grievance. And I come back to her within those 14 days and say, I'm going to file a grievance. Isn't that my right? I want everyone that's watching right now to tell me, isn't that my right? Isn't that my right to say, I changed my mind, I'm filing a grievance? But I never said that because this woman has been harassing me. I think it was like 2 years maybe at that point, or or maybe it was just a year. It just felt like two. Uh, she was abusing me every day, every day. There's no way I told her that I'm not filing a grievance. She made that up. And like I said, it doesn't matter if she makes that up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm here now to file a grievance. Doesn't matter what I said 3 days ago. Okay? It doesn't matter what I wrote, if I signed a piece of paper that says I won't file a grievance. I'm in my 14 days. I decided I'm going to do it. Give me the paperwork and let's end this stupid conversation. Let's see. Young says, what's your name if you're okay with asking? Richard. Yes. She says, hi, Richard. Okay, awesome. SK says, was the lady lying when she said you didn't want to file a grievance before? Yes. Sorry guys. She was out and out lying. And like I said, I think my point that I just made to everyone, I'm not going to repeat it, but I think my point that I just made to everyone kinds of solidifies everything. Okay? If I said I'm not going to file, I'm saying now that I want to file. Give me what I deserve and let's end this conversation. Young says, nice to meet you, Richard. Nice to meet you too. She threw some more kisses and hugs my way. Thank you so much. And let's see. Gordon Ramsay, yes. Yeah, I was stumbling for that name, huh? Thank you, Dina, for joining the show, and Swaggy in the morning. Nice. Thank you for joining the show. Let's see. SK says, do you hate bullies? And Christy, thank you for joining the show. Okay, that's going to be the last question today because my phone's going to die. And if my phone dies and I don't close it, then I can't save it. And this was such a good show. I want other people to be able to see it. So last question, do I hate bullies? I never hate anyone because when you hate someone, you become them. Remember, I call it the Luke Skywalker effect, right? What happened to Luke Skywalker? He was so upset that he was born a slave and that he couldn't spend his last days with his mother that he became the very thing that he despised and killed his wife and almost killed his two children, right? Luke and Leia. So I call that the Anakin Skywalker effect. You never want to hate because if you hate, you will. You guarantee it may take a year, it may take 2 years, it may take 3 years. You will become what you hate. So never hate anyone. Will I let her abuse me again? No. But do I hate her? No. But she's not going to get a second chance to treat me like that. I guarantee you that. So thank you very much. SK says Yankees just signed Anthony Rizzo. Holy bleep. That's awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank our new friend, Young, Sheila. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry if I'm not. I want to thank everyone that joined the show. I want to thank SK. I want to thank everyone who asked a question. Salma Yusuf. I want to thank you for asking a question. And you, whether you're watching this live or recorded, you have to remember to put your comments in the comment section if you disagree or agree with what I said on this show. It's okay if you disagree. You don't have to disagree. I've had people come on the show and disagree with me, but let's disagree kindly. All right. We have a few more questions. That was one of the best shows you've had. Thank you so much. It's Chanel. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry. But let's get the music going. I want to remind you guys that this song that you're about to hear was created by Real Young Blue. Check him out on Instagram. Follow him on Instagram. What's wrong? We got no music here? There we go. Follow him on Instagram, guys. Okay, follow him on Instagram. And he created the song for us and donated it to us. Thank you so much. If you do art, send it to us. The logo that you see on our channel was created by a young 12-year-old girl in the UK. So I don't care where you're at. Send it to me. I will post it. Okay, I love fan art. Young Blue never stays that long anymore. Yeah, it's crazy. Because he's in the same time zone you're in, so I don't understand. But yeah, he's busy making music. That's why good for him. So remember, don't say you're so perfect to anyone. Remember that. Okay, so live feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com. Also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com. Hey, Miss Young, I want you to check out the Bully Exposed. The Bully Exposed is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that reminds you to check out their YouTube channel. Hey, Miss Young, I want you to go to YouTube right now. Look up Nonfiction Filmmaker. Subscribe and be sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time we create a post on the Bully Exposed YouTube channel. And this show right here that you see will be up there within like 48 hours, maybe 72, depending on how much time we got. But I want to remind you guys that anyone can wear the crown. Anyone can be a hero. Be kind to yourself and have a great day. Bye, guys.